Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Shooting the Shit. I am Dan, and with me as always is Shane.
Greetings.
And today we're going to be talking about Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh.
Turns out he's more like an asshole.
Yeah, Oz the selfish and bleak.
The woman-chasing, heartbreaking con man who's James Franco. Alright, so as you all well know, this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, the timeless classic, and since it is a timeless classic, we're going to be spoiling the shit out of this because, well...
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to spoil a prequel. Like, and honestly, if you don't know the story of The Wizard of Oz, why are you watching a movie review video?
I know.
Go watch it. Go read a book.
In fact, I advise you, if you're afraid of spoilers, watch the movie first, then come back here and enjoy the spoilers. But if you're okay with spoilers, hey, we're going to watch. And plus, I think from what the material that was released, a lot of the publicity and stuff that was released for this movie, I think it's safe to assume that they've pretty much spoiled their own twists.
Yeah, that's one move I wasn't really... I don't know. I found it very weird because a lot of the big twists that they put in this movie, they've all pretty much revealed already.
I know, last night I was watching a TV spot. It came on just before.
Right.
And they had the Witch Cafe. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like, oh god damn it, you just spoiled your fucking twist.
Not only the fact that they released pictures of the Wicked Witch, pretty much revealing who it was, getting rid of your twist entirely, because anyone with the ability of facial recognition could tell who it was.
And just to kill the tension, it's pretty much Mila Kunis.
It's Mila Kunis, yeah.
Yeah, just to kill... My god, the tension's
Lordy.
relieved!
Oh, lordy.
The twist of the century, man! Jesus, Mila Kunis is the witch? Nah!
There's no way, man. There's no way.
No way, at all. I mean, did you also know that Darth Vader was the father of Luke Skywalker? And that Bruce Willis was a ghost? And that Soylent Green is people!
I think we make that joke every time we talk about spoiling things. No, but it was just... I don't know, that got rid of at least a decent twist that they could have at least thrown in there.
Yeah, although, to be kind of fair, even in the movie, it's not too much of a big spoiler.
Oh, it's not at all. They pretty much tell you right off the bat, but it's just like, you could have figured that out when you went to go see the movie, as opposed to just like, oh, hey, did you hear this?
Yeah. But also, again, too, a big shocker at the end of this movie, the guy named Oz becomes the Wizard of Oz. So I think even then, it is the prequel syndrome of, if you've seen the other ones, which I think it's safe to assume that everyone's seen the Wizard of Oz, the original. I think it's really safe to assume that.
And you know what? It's just, like I said, it suffers from prequel syndrome. And I don't know, we were discussing this before we started filming. I am not a big fan of prequels. I think prequels are pretty much pointless. I understand that maybe sometimes you want to go back and expand on the lore of your story, maybe show the fans or just people who are curious what it was like then, how it came to be. But if you've seen, the original story, or read the original book, seen the original film, you know the story. You don't really care. Like me, I don't really care how he became the Wizard of Oz. I just care that he is the Wizard of Oz. I know who the Wicked Witch is. I don't need to see how she was made. I'd like to see... Oh, I don't want to say I'd like to see a sequel, because we've all seen those.
Yeah.
But, it's just like... Unless you're going to do something, really far out there and just blow the doors off the original story, make it so people go, wow, I never really thought of it that way. Don't do a prequel. And I don't really think this movie did that.
Although, to be fair, it is, comparing it to a lot of other prequels, it is one of the better ones. It's not the best.
Yeah, no.
Comparing it to the Star Wars prequels, it's no fucking contest. This movie was far out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, because I've seen some pretty shitty prequels. I mean, really, really, really bad. And this one, I can understand the idea of like, okay, you want to see how he goes there because there are good movies that explore it, like X-Men First Class, for example.
Oh, X-Men First Class. You know the thing is, X-Men First Class, while it was also someone would consider it a prequel because it was, First Class prequel.
Yeah.
But
it could also be kind of a reboot.
yeah, at the same time, it's a reboot and it's also its own standalone movie.
Yeah.
It told a completely different story,
Right.
so I didn't really mind it. I actually I actually loved X-Men First Class, but that's a story for a different time. Like I said, I didn't hate this movie. By saying that I didn't get what they were trying to do with it, I didn't mean that I was not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it either. It's just probably... It's just got some problems. Like, the thing is, there's potential that this really could have been great. This really, really could have been great. And even I was kind of hoping for it. But there are some problems with it, too. For example, and I know we're kind of really early with the problems here, but the casting kind of leaves a couple things to be desired a little bit.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, but only for certain aspects.
For certain ones. Like, we'll get into who we thought were better and who we thought were bad. Like, for example, the big one, obviously, is Oz himself, who's played by James Franco. And it's kind of weird because when you hear about who was originally casted to be Oz, you really get a sense of like, wow, that really could have actually made things a lot better. Because, and I know, and we're not going to harp too much on the original film because this thing's not really a prequel to that. It might be more of a prequel to the Bush because, if this was a flat out saying we're a prequel to Wizard of Oz, MGM would have sued their fucking asses on that one.
They would have sued to the ground.
I mean, for fuck's sake, they own the goddamn war on the witch.
It's like Gene Simmons with orange juice.
I'm telling you, man, he's gonna come out with air.
Yeah, we need to put out a patent on water.
They're probably getting a patent on the hanging munchkin. You can't use that hanging munchkin. That's our thing, man. But anyway.
It's just a rumor, though.
But anyway, the thing is, originally they were going to cast Robert Downey Jr. and even Johnny Depp was considered for the role too.
Which Robert Downey Jr. Actually, even Johnny Depp would have been freaking awesome in this role.
Yeah, because when you think about the character of Oz, like he's basically kind of, in a way, he's kind of the lovable asshole.
Pretty much.
He's the con man. He doesn't do it to be malicious. He just does it because he's just more or less used to it. He's just a bit greedy, is what he is. And James Franco, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I thought he was good in other things. Like, I liked him in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which, again, is another prequel he was in. But I just didn't really think he fit too well at times. Like, at the beginning, it was kind of bumpy seeing him, because, like, you kind of got that, like, when he was playing for theatrics, I thought he was doing it well, because it kind of suited what he was doing, but when he was just trying to play it, I don't know, it seemed undertone for, like, what was going on.
I thought that he fit well in, like as you said, in certain scenes he played the part very well. I think, for example, like when he was trying to be more, I don't want to say tender, but I think more of like a real person.
Yeah.
I think he did a much better job. And then when he goes in the con man, he has this big doofy smile.
Like literally, he does like, I think, what was that? Like the troll grin that he does that one time.
No, but it's just, I don't know. I think he was trying to play the part of the lovable asshole a little too hard.
Like,
if that makes sense. There was very little subtleness to that part. Which, by the way, I'm still trying to figure out if that was a bad thing or not. Because it is the Wizard of Oz. It is, Oz the Great and Powerful. He is nothing. He's everything but subtle.
Like, yeah, you kind of got to question if it was like something that was kind of intended like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because, like, I know for, like, there were certain parts where I found him okay, but mostly when he was playing up kind of the exaggerated role, that's where I kind of had the problem, because, like, I don't think he feels too comfortable in that part. Because the more I kind of see Franco, he's kind of more of a common guy. So, yeah, instead of, like, the big, exuberant kind of theatrical dudes, I mean, when you talk about Downey and even Depp, it's like, yeah, they kind of play that guy. I mean, that's what Tony Stark and Johnny Depp, no, not Johnny Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp plays himself.
Yeah, Johnny Depp pretty much plays himself in every movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes he throws out a British accent, but he's pretty much playing himself.
And some random-ass makeup if he's with Tim Burton. But, you know, when he was playing Jack Sparrow, he was kind of that guy, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's why I mean, like, I could kind of see either one of those two in this role, but I'm not saying Franco was bad, but I don't know. I think maybe it was just Ron Part's choice that he chose as like a performance, or maybe it was just the way he was written, but I just didn't really feel like he sold me too well in that.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not too sure if it was intended or not. So I'm not really going to give it a positive or a negative on the performance, because, you know, I do believe James Franco is I don't want to say decent, he's a good actor.
Right.
I just think that he was too busy trying to find that big exuberant part of himself.
Yeah, it just seemed like he was kind of struggling with it a bit.
Yeah, it seemed a little fake, but at the same time, that could have been the point.
Right.
So I'm not going to cast a...
Yeah, so it's kind of just like a... If I have to put it there, it's like kind of like dead center kind of performance. It's not...
Yeah.
It's not... There's no high or low. It's just kind of like... He does what he does, and like he does get a little bit better by the end, but I still kind of thought it was wavering, especially by the first half.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, although the one that I know definitely wasn't like intentional was Mila Kunis, the Wicked Witch of the West, and was it Theodora? Yeah, that was just straight up miscasting right there. That was serious miscasting. I mean,
this is the part where I'm going to come in as a voice of reason, which I tend to do. When it comes to the actual witch, like her actual playing of the Wicked Witch of the West, I fully agree with you. I do believe that when she was playing just, you know, Theodora, like before she got all green and evil, I actually think she was fine in that role. I think she did well in that role. And then the moment she tried to be the Witch of the West, it just seems so like, all right, copy, you know, the Wicked Witch and then paste on the Mila Kunis.
Yeah. And how'd you feel about how she became the witch? Like with the thing with the green apple?
The fucking apple? I was like, come on, Disney. Like, as soon as like the evil witch gave her an apple and she became evil herself, it's like, all right, guys, the witches and apples, we get it. It's over. You know, we know you're Disney.
Actually, I want to know where the hell she got that. Are like in the same continuity where the other witch is just living next door? Like, yeah, fine, take one of my apples.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, well, no, but this one was a green apple. It was a green apple.
True.
Yeah, like, if she would have been a red apple, she would have taken a bite and it would have done nothing.
You know, thank God somebody didn't bite into the green ones. Holy shit.
Yeah, right. That would have been a completely different movie. No, like, the transformation... You know, I thought a lot of the effects they pulled with the witch were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, with like the fireballs.
The fireballs, the fucking attack on Munchkinland, attack on Munchkinland, where it was just like this giant Sauron fireball eye, just like smoke. It was pretty badass.
I know.
And like her appearing in the fire as well. That was really cool. Even the effects of her flying with the smoke.
That was actually pretty good.
That was actually really cool. All the effects they did with The Witch were really cool. And Mila Kunis, I don't know if they actually dubbed, we were thinking they dubbed this.
Because that cackle was perfect.
The cackle for The Witch was perfect. But the problem is, then she begins to speak and you realize it's just Mila Kunis speaking.
It really is. And like, I don't even know if it's just Mila Kunis because like, it's pretty much like, at one scene, it's pretty much just reading it like Meg Griffin.
Yeah, she's doing the changing in the tone of her voice that she does with Meg.
It's the first one when she turns to the witch. That's where it sounds like the most like it. And I just kind of leaned over and like, shut up, Meg.
Yeah, which I did find pretty awesome. And, yeah, so I think that her as just Theodora was perfect. I thought she did very well in that role. Mm-hmm. And then she goes full-on Wicked Witch.
Like...
And it's just like, okay, guys, little random here.
Not really convincing. Like, the one thing I also have, like, since you mentioned the effects, like, the one little tiny qualm I have about it, and I know it's a tiny little plot, it doesn't affect anything, but, like, when they're basically saying, Theodora, you've become ugly, I'm kind of leaning on, like, that's still fun.
Yeah, like
It's so Mila Kunis.
she's got a bigger nose and a pointed chin, but it's freaking Mila Kunis.
It's like
and that's one part of the movie that I did not believe because because we're gonna we already said spoilers,
right.
so I can go ahead and go on and say it.
Yeah.
The reason she becomes the Wicked Witch is because she believes that she's tricked by her sister into believing that Oz is this. Well, actually, he is kind of a womanizer.
He is pretty much.
He is a womanizer, but because Oz, you see over and over, he doesn't want anything. She talks about being his queen and how they're going to be together forever, and Oz is like, "Okay, bitch, I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes."
Well, to be fair, she does kind of pull up the little stalker thing of like, we've met and we're together forever. And we're going to live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what the thing is, though? It's just so funny. Because she finds out that Oz is with Glenda the Good Witch, which, by the way, if we have time, we're going to get into how Glenda is actually the Wicked Witch in the entire story.
Yeah.
So finds out there she's with Glenda, so she loses her mind and turns evil as like an act of vengeance against someone who pretty much broke her heart.
And it's kind
here's the thing. I call bullshit on that. If you landed in a magical world and the first person you met was frickin' Mila Kunis, who was like, I'm a good witch and I will love you unconventionally and you will be the king of this magical land with all the riches you desire, would you really be like, oh yeah, I gotta find a way to get the hell out of this? Hell no. There's a million other guys, myself included, who sit there looking at this like, you lucky bastard, I fucking hate your guts.
I know, it's like, she's basically like, I will have so much sex with you. Well, gee, look at the time, I gotta go with my flying monkey.
Exit stage left even.
Look at the time, I gotta go slay a witch with my flying monkey. Come on, dude. We gotta get going.
It's like, it's freaking Mila Kunis. She's like one of the hottest women on the planet. And she's freaking awesome in this movie. She's such a nice person. I mean, like, granted, she can get pissed off and blow you up with a fireball, but that's beyond the point.
Yeah, I mean, even when she's green, she's still hot. I mean,
even when she's supposed to be hideous, she's still freaking hot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, even that course did not help. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. My eyes are up here. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that's great. That's just what's great. Like, oh my god, you're hideous and you're wearing all this ugly clothing. I don't know about you. I don't remember the Wicked Witch in the original movie dressing up in fucking hot leather clothes.
Yeah. She's like the antithesis of boner killers. But now every time, like, I'll get you, my pretty little dog pill. We think like,
yeah, like, let's get rid of the chin and the nose, man. All I gotta do is go like this.
I cannot watch that movie the same because now that witch is gonna look hot tonight.
No, but like that's just the thing. I could not believe that story because you're telling me that a guy who's looking for riches and women gets one of the hottest women he's ever seen and all the riches in the world, and he tries to run from it. Bullshit. Just bullshit.
That is pretty much bullshit. And speaking of bullshit, the thing that I thought of, because like if you kind of see something, we're talking about the main players, the ones that like are the most famous actors in the movie, are mostly our main prominent ones. They're the two main players,
pretty much.
And the thing that's kind of bullshit is like the supporting cast. I think is much stronger.
Oh yeah, the supporting cast.
Like
awesome.
Rachel Weisz as I don't know her witch's name. She's the Wicked Witch of the
Lenora.
Lenora. Spoiler, she's the one who gets the fucking house dropped on her.
Eleonora, it's one of those.
It's one of those things.
I don't remember.
The one that gets the house dropped on her. That's all you need to know.
Which I still think would have been awesome.
Oh, that would have been an awesome ending credits.
That would have been an awesome scene.
But anyway, I thought she should have been really the Wicked Witch, because I thought she could have handled that more. Even at the end, when like she's kind of reverted to her like ugly self, I'm like, he could have just painted that green. That could have actually been really good.
Yeah, really thinking about it, she could have totally been the Wicked Witch. Not saying like that character could have been the Wicked Witch, but they could have redone the story and just had her be, or just like, she's the Wicked Witch.
Yeah,
and we can have Mila Kunis just like in it. She could have stayed her character. She could have stayed her character through the whole fucking movie.
She could have been the one in the East instead, because the one in the West I thought was much more evil. And again, it just seemed like it was mostly just a casting thing, because like she was having like Rachel Weisz was having a much better time with it. Like she was playing like over the top, and the kind of right over the top villain that you think of with a witch character.
And it was definitely done right too. Like. The witches in this movie so much better than like Hansel and Gretel.
Oh
with
god,
their
yes.
generic ass witches, like so much better.
We even get a better magic fight in this one.
Yeah,
too.
the magic fight. You get a magic fight. Don't know why.
But
it's completely unnecessary.
It's better than that lame ass one that we got last time. Where it's just like basically.
Yeah, it was completely unnecessary, but it happened. But you know, I did enjoy the supporting cast. Like, take for example, Zach Braff as Finley. Or whatever his assistant's name was. I really didn't care. We didn't catch enough time.
Right.
If you've seen Zach Braff in anything, if you've seen Scrubs, if you've seen just him and his Brita filter, magic bananas,
Yeah.
you know what he does. He does the same thing in every part, and he's freaking awesome at it.
Yeah, and he's
the guy is like the king of awkward funny. And you know when you see him, it's like, oh, all right, cool. I'm gonna at least get a chuckle in this, and he does his part very well. I don't remember the girl, but she plays the China child.
She was actually my favorite character.
She was, as well as a character who provides the most awkward moment of the entire movie: the girl in the wheelchair. In the
Oh
video.
my god! Holy
Which
shit.
is,
I forgot
which,
that.
by the way, we came in watching this movie as a Disney kids movie. We came in because we knew this was a Disney kids movie, but I'm also a huge fan of the Oz. Like the Wizard of Oz, the original, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I was very excited to go see this, honestly. And we're like, but it's going to be a kids movie. We know it's going to be a kids movie. Then right off the bat, we have Oz performing magic.
This is while he's in Kansas.
While he's in Kansas, and a girl in a wheelchair reels up and goes, "Make me walk."
And then there's just a silence of.
It's just this awkward silence, like
I know it's supposed to be mad, but I just laughed like, holy shit.
it was so awkward. I was like, "Holy fuck, Disney! You got real dark, real fast." And that's one of the things in this movie too. It just gets dark at some point.
Yeah,
it's just like, wow, okay, we're all happy and off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of
holy shit.
the wonderful wizard of Make Me Walk.
Oh. Here's a Pinky Tarot card, kid.
Yeah. Zip zap in.
But it even gets darker when we go to Chinatown. Holy shit.
Yeah, we travel to the Chinatown, which is later, and she also plays a little China doll girl, whose entire town was destroyed and killed by the Wicked Witch's flying monkeys.
Technically they were flying baboons.
No, they said flying baboon one time. They were baboons, but they're flying monkeys.
True, but then again,
Zach Bradley called himself a flying monkey. They were all flying monkeys. Just the evil ones were just baboons.
Which I don't know why they changed that. That was a weird change.
Baboons are very aggressive.
Well, no, I know, but even in the original, they were pretty much monkeys.
I know. I'm just.
I guess it's just MGM again saying
No, it probably had nothing to do with that. It was probably just an artistic choice.
Yeah, most likely, but
baboons are aggressive ass looking creatures, man.
They look pretty aggressive.
There were some mean looking motherfuckers.
Those fucking things, holy shit, they were rough.
And that was probably what they did because they're more of an evil looking creature. While they wanted to designate how Finley was a kinder monkey, so he was a more nice, normal looking monkey.
I could probably see that.
And Chinatown, yeah.
Sorry, we did that. That's what happens sometimes in the show. You got to realize.
And so they destroyed her town and killed everyone, including her family, and broke her legs off. Which is the reflection, as you know, Oz likes to reflect characters from the real world into the land of Oz. So the girl in the wheelchair is now in Chinatown as the China girl, and her legs are destroyed. So Oz repairs them, and it's like, oh, well, that's nice. You get to see him actually help this girl walk.
Right.
Which is very deep for, the Wizard of Oz. It was very deep for a Disney movie. Well, actually, Disney can get pretty deep.
Oh.
But I was just like, wow, okay. And everyone, she talks all the time about how she wants to bring her family back. In
fact, the weirdest thing I found is right after that, she's basically yeah, let's go kill that fucking witch.
Yeah,
she pops up a knife.
She's this nice, cute little girl, and all of a sudden it's yeah, let's go kill this witch. She pulls this giant ass knife that's half the size of her body.
wonder they. God, shit, those monkeys had nothing to do with it. They'd probably kill themselves, realizing this fucking bitch is crazy.
That's the thing, like, you look at the cast, you know, oh, well, she's this cute little China girl, and she pulls this Buster sword of a fucking knife out.
She's fucking Hit Girl of Oz.
But she's looking to drink flying monkey blood. And it's just like, holy shit. I sat there looking damn, like, she's gonna fucking slice somebody.
I could see that scene with like a flying monkey. She's like there, she's sitting there, it's like, alright, cunts. Who's next?
Flying monkey, like, slicing people up, stabbing it in the neck. Like, shuriken and kunai.
It's a shame that didn't happen in the movie, because that probably would have been just great if that happened.
That would have been it, man.
Like, but no, it's just like, she pulled up one scene, and it's like, oh, we're fragile, let's look over now.
Yeah, she goes back to being fragile. For like that 1 second, she was out of her mind.
Yeah, I was in fragile my fucking ass. Glinda, I thought was pretty good, too.
Oh yeah, they definitely casted well for Glinda, the good witch. The good witch.
Even though if you watch the original film, you realize how much of a fucking bitch she is.
Dude, if you watch this film too.
Like, she's the bitch throughout everything. I mean, I can just remember even the original. It's like, the Wicked Witch comes to grab the slippers, and it's like, where are they? Oh, I put them on this innocent Kansas girl. What the fuck? She's doing the life of this innocent kid.
I've come for the possessions of my dead sister because I am the next of kin. Well, too bad. I put them on this girl you've never met.
Like, poor fucking girl. She's in danger now throughout the whole fucking film. And at the end, it's like, oh, well, you had to go home. We'll just tap your heels and you're home. Thanks. I could have fucking known that earlier.
Yeah.
Nice to know I suffered through musical numbers and childhood traumas for this. Bitch.
Yeah. And even on top of that, you go into this now and you realize that Glenda is, well, she was also, I think you like Glenda more in this movie because you definitely see her more.
Right.
You know, you get to see how she is this good witch, you know. You see how much the people love her. You see why the people love her. You see this connection she has with the people of Oz. You know, she's always very tender. She's always very helping. She's always out to bring out the best in someone. Right. And then you see on the flip side that she stole freaking Theodora's boyfriend and she turned her evil. And then when they show up, she's like, now we're going to kill you.
All the supporting characters were actually fine.
No, for sure.
They were really fine. Another thing, too, was that, or at least another problem I found was, the story was a bit predictable.
Well, yeah, it was predictable. It was a fucking prequel.
Well, no, like, not in that sense, but, like, in formula sense of, like, okay, we're going this beat, he's gonna give a speech, come on, give the speech. My fellow munchkins! Ah, there we go! There's a giant climatic battle and everything like that. And I was kind of like going, well, alright, I mean, it's not as predictable as Hans and Gretel was, thank God, but...
Yeah, for sure.
But I was still kind of going like, really, this is the best one you could kind of pull out? Okay, at least it's not like the original, which one good thing I really did like was that I really liked the nods a lot. I thought the nods...
Yeah, normally a problem you have with prequels is
or even remakes
or anything is that they tend to make nods to the original piece, but they do it in a very just like heavy-handed, like, hey guys, there was something before this.
Like in the Total Recall movie, the chick with 3 tits. Just there, no context at all. Like the original one, there's a context, but not just here because you people
3
recognize
titties. No, that's pretty much it. And in this movie, there's none of that. Every hint to the original story is just very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah.
Like you can see when Oz and Finley are walking on the yellow brick road away from the Emerald City.
Yeah.
There's horses of a different color grazing in the background, and it's like, okay.
There's a line in this one.
Yeah.
Where he actually says, "Go off, you cowardly lion."
Yeah. There's the cowardly lion. Which is very clever.
That was actually clever. A lot of nods to Scarecrow, and that's what I found.
Yeah, definitely some Scarecrow. I didn't really see any Tin Man nods.
I didn't really see them either. Although I did kind of like the one little moment where they were about to burst out into the song.
Oh, yeah, that was
a nice little nod, and he's like, just stop.
The Munchkins start to break on a song, you just go, stop. Just stop.
And also, too, the one that I liked a lot was like how much like the original starts off in black and white and it's in like a letterbox form.
Yeah.
And then when he goes to Oz, it turns the color and the screen expands like a regular aspect ratio.
For sure.
That was actually the one touch that I really thought was pretty good. And even
that's a touch you need in every Oz.
Right.
I love that.
And honestly, I think technically the film's great. In terms of that, I mean, just like those little nods like that really kind of impressed me. Just like that little attention. Even there was a scene where Theodora was crying, and you could actually see like little streaks and steam blow up, and I thought that's a really cool. That's a nice little touch.
As everyone knows, the Wicked Witch of the West, her weakness is water. Once she gets water poured on her, she melts. And you see when Theodora cries, as Dan said, parts of her skin start to burn away as the tears roll down, and it's such a good effect.
It's a nice subtle effect that I like, and there's also a lot of kind of scary bits too. Like there's a scene where they're in the dark forest, and there's all these like eyes. Kind of just like flowing back, kind of like even you said they're like boos in Super Mario.
Yeah, they're like the boos from Super Mario.
Yeah.
And every time they turn around, the eyes disappear because they're talking about ghosts. So it's like, oh, I get it, it's a nod, and then they look away, and the eyes come back. Yeah. And then once you see what they are, they're like these fucking evil flower things that are biting. Yeah. Which I hope they aren't like the replacement for the living trees.
They're probably not.
Because I love those trees. The entire time we were in there, I was going, my apples are not rotten. Those trees are awesome.
But I will say something, it was a little too CGI at certain bits. Like, I understand why.
There was definitely a lot of CGI that was completely unnecessary. It's like, okay, now they're going to run, and here's CGI with running. They didn't need it, though.
Definitely. I thought it was a little too much. Like, I understand, like, with the world and everything, that, like, yeah, it's CGI, but I'm kind of sitting there, like, guys, can we just kind of tone it down? Like, that flower opening effect got a little old, too.
Yeah, it's like everywhere you went, it's like, okay, now there's some flowers that are going to open. All right, guys, we get it. Flowers.
I mean, there's
open.
a bit where they're flying through the Fortress of Solitude, and there's, like, crystal flowers. Actually, I think that, like, it's the Kryptonite Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, the Kryptonite Fortress of Solitude. And there's, like, there's emerald and ruby flowers opening up all over the place. And it's like, all right, guys, you did that in the beginning of the movie. You don't need to do it now.
Not so subtle here anymore. Also, a nice little touches of humor here and there too, like with the water fairies. That was, I thought, a nice little scene.
The water fairies were interesting. Yeah,
just for that, like that one joke with the song. I can't whistle for shit, but
yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was actually good. Also, too, the best part and like the thing that we're ignoring the most, and the most underrated player in this movie is that drunk clown.
Oh my!
The drunk clown, man.
The part that is going to become a very memorable, like, it's just a brief second, but we kept inserting it in the movie. During the original performance of Oz, there's a clown that's working the lights in the background. And as you see him working the lights, he picks up a flask and just takes a drink.
Exactly.
And we put him into so many scenes, like the tornado, when he's stuck in the tornado and like there's organs fly by.
Yeah, it's like
he's gonna come sailing by just taking a drink.
Yeah, instead of like the witch on the bike, it's just like he's just sitting there in the tornado.
We were actually waiting for a character to come up to represent him in Oz, just like some random guy in the background taking a shot. And that is so funny, but the problem is there's some things that are very unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
For example, do you want to reveal the big ending thing?
Oh, you mean behind the curtain?
So there's pretty much an entire.
Actually, I think like maybe we should leave it a little vague, just to give that moment of surprise of how intentional this thing is. So,
good idea.
So that's the one spoiler we're gonna keep.
Yeah,
because
there's one spoiler we're gonna keep.
It is hilarious, and maybe it's only hilarious because we have pretty dirty minds and we're juvenile with this stuff.
We're very.
I got like an intentional laugh. Like
I have not laughed in a movie that hard in a long time. Granted, there weren't many other people laughing with us. There was like a group of kids behind us.
Yeah, because like they had the same exact joke. Like, in fact, the funny thing was we were making jokes about it, and then the movie was just feeling it to play. Like, oh come on, they're just giving it to us.
Yeah. We were making jokes, and then they kept going, and we're like, all right, guys, stop. And they kept going. I couldn't stop laughing. It was just so brilliantly done. And we'll just say it involves Oz, it involves Glenda, and it involves the curtain. And
that's it. Funny. And like, if you come up with the same joke where he's bestowing gifts on everybody, then it'll probably be even funnier to you.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. As far as like the pros go, a lot of the supporting cast characters were great.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
really great. I mean, Bruce Campbell's cameo. I fucking love that cameo.
Bruce Campbell's awesome and everything.
Really is. And a lot of the visuals I thought were great. I thought it was still creepy in some terms because this was directed by Sam Raimi. And,
Oh, definitely.
and if you know Sam Raimi, if you know the Evil Dead franchise, you can definitely see those little Evil Dead isms. And just as a horror fan, I was kind of like, yes!
Yeah.
Because like I so wanted to go back to low budget horror, but I mean, even that scene where like the witch kind of comes up in the claw scratching, it's like I'm like, yes, there it is, classic, and even like some of the humor was in there too, like the unintentional stuff.
Yeah, and I just, as Dan said, there were some parts that were very, like, there were some parts that got to me. I'm a grown-ass man in this kid's movie, and there's some parts where the flying monkeys went by, and I was like, holy shit! Because they really get to you. Sam Raimi's timing is perfect when it comes to horror.
His timing is good. I mean, I may not like his Spider-Man films as much, but I still can't deny the guy's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Guy is great. And I really think even the story's not too bad. I mean, it is a little predictable, but I don't mind the Journey of Oz because that part's not too bad. That is kind of an interesting story, although it's just the way it was done. I thought just wasn't as great as it could have been.
Yeah, you know what? I think that one of the big problems is that I didn't really grow attached to too many of the characters because before you really got, like, take Theodora for example. They could have really expanded on the heartbreak of the character. They could have really expanded on the relationship between her and Oz. But by the time you go, oh, well, let's see how this is going to go. Nope, done. You're at the Emerald City.
Like, the moment where they basically go to find the Wicked Witch, who they think is Glenda, because Rachel Weisz is fooling everyone that she's not the witch. They could have brought Theodora along with her.
Yeah.
With them. That would have been actually a better way to expand upon that. I personally think.
Or just keep Oz and Theodora together for a little while.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. They could have been on there for a little while, and then maybe the breakup could have come from that moment. And then her sister could have added to that.
Yeah, actually,
That I thought could have been more interesting. But then again, it's not too bad. But because like overall, it's a good movie. Like if you're jonesing for an Oz adventure, it's not a bad one.
Yeah, not at all. Definitely a movie that I'd say you get your money's worth. It's definitely it's entertaining.
It's a nice movie to bring the family to.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to win any awards. It's not movie of the year. It's
not going to replace the original or the sequel. Which, by the way, you guys really should check out Return to Oz. I wholeheartedly recommend that. But I think it's enough. It's serviceable enough.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed watching it. It was.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say anything bad.
Yeah, anything bad we have to say isn't overwhelming, but at the same time, anything good we have to say really isn't overwhelming.
Yeah, it's
you'll get a good laugh from a couple things. You know, you'll like a couple characters. You'll enjoy the visuals, but
yeah. Like I say, it's a good movie. Just wish it could have been better.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, because it really is just that. It's like not enough to really make it great for me, but there's also not enough to make it like really bad.
For sure.
So at least that is good. And I was never bored, so that's also a good thing too. All right, so final thoughts. Good, not great. I mean, there's definitely strong direction, strong visuals, even though it might be a little too CGI. Supporting characters I thought were really good, as well as the supporting actors. Really, some of it's a bit predictable as far as like the story goes, a little formulaic for my taste, and the main leads I thought were what kind of really didn't make me jump on board all the way.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. I made my point about how I thought Mila Kunis did well in the first role, and then turning into the witch. I thought, it was definitely a miscast. It's a movie. It's a movie that you can go see and not be mad that you went to go see it. I'm not gonna fanboy about it, but it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
It's not a bad time. I mean, even if you got kids, check it out.
If you got kids, you just got someone who wants to go see it, go check it out. It's worth it.
Yeah. That's all we can say is, like, just check it out. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not throwing, but yeah, that's what it is.
It's something.
So, I think it's time that we call it quits, guys, because we're out of time. I'm Dan from the Den.
And I'm Shane, and I wonder what's down that red brick road.
I wonder that too.
Huh.
Follow the yellow brick road.